Hello! Hello? Hello! Let's try again. Hello, welcome to... I don't even know what day of the week it is, to be honest with you, to be fair. I'm here for just one of 3 shows that you have got. So you've got a very, very busy day with Crafters TV today. Apparently it's Friday. Yay, Friday! How brilliant is that? And you have got a brilliant couple of shows here on Crafters TV because you've got... It's a double Leann day. How are you, Leann?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm feeling excited because I'm looking forward to the weekend. But actually, I'm very excited about the 2 shows that we've got coming up today because they've got some of my favourite products on. You know how I love all of my products, but I do have a special place in my heart for the very special ones. And these Peekaboo dies that we've got are fabulous. Work perfectly with the tri-blend pens. And then Colour Me Happy later, I've got some more really cool stuff. So it's going to be a really fabulous coloury day, and I do love my colouring in.
She's in colour heaven today, let me tell you. Absolutely and completely. Well, I know lots of you are looking forward to the show, and I know lots of you love it when we have a Leann masterclass, and we are talking Peekaboos today, which is really, really good. So those of you who have the collections, you're going to learn, you're going to be inspired, you're going to get lots and lots of new ideas, and you know what the best thing is? The arch dies are back, which is brilliant. They have been out of stock for too long, but the arch dies you need to make your apertures for your Peekaboos, they are back in stock. So you want to grab those as quickly as you possibly can. Should we go through the collections that we've got for you today? Let's start with our 6-piece, gorgeous, we call these, and we call these so wrongly, we call them every day. I think we should call them the Gorgeous Cuddly Creatures collection because it's really, really gorgeous. In your collection here, You have got Perfect Friend, which is the gorgeous little kitty cat, which Peekaboo's over as your perfect friend. Lots of stamp sentiments and lots of ways of working around that perfect word. You've got the dog, which is of course your best friend, and lots and lots of stamps there. You've got the elephant, you've got the bear, which I've got at home. I did a sneaky little tryout last night, halfway through a bear card. I haven't brought it with me. It's on my Instagram. I haven't finished it yet there because although it was quite good in the sunlight first thing this morning, because I'd hidden the bear behind a big circle of Centura Pearl, and you could actually see the bear through the front of the card, hiding in its little aperture. And then we've got Bunny on that one as well. Now you are getting no. Is that price right? Hang on a minute, let me check. You should know, Derek. You're the presenter. £29. For all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's really good. And actually the saving that we've got there for you, because it should be $41.94 or $59.70, that almost equates to you get 6, but you're only paying for 4, which is pretty good. And I tell you what, you are going to love today's show, because if you need to top up any of your collections of the animal, the everyday ones, or the Christmas ones, we've got a multi-buy mix and match between the two. So let's talk Christmas now. Peekaboo Christmas now. These are phenomenal. Now on this one, you're getting 8 and it's like you're only paying for 5. So the deal on the Christmas ones, I mean, perfect timing as well, hey? So you've got the Peekaboo Santa, you've got the Peekaboo Elf, cheeky little elf. You've got the reindeer, which is wonderful. You've got the Peekaboo Snowman. I love this. Dashing through the snow you can make on There's Snow One Like You. Beautiful. You've got the Peekaboo Penguin, which is so sweet. The Peekaboo Robin, which I think is always, every time we've had this collection out, always been, I think, one of the most popular with the snowman. You've got the Festive Mouse, which is so sweet because he's got his little nightcap on, and you've got the polar bear as well. And the polar bear's got a nice string of lights that you can colour up as well, which Leann will love because that means you can go into colour heaven, which is brilliant. Right, let me show you as well that the window arch dies are back in town. They have been sold out forever and ever. Here they are. This is the die you need if you have any of the Peekaboos. If you bought one of the collections recently and you haven't been able to get the arch dies, sorry, but here you go. Here they are at $9.99 or $12.95. That is almost like your worker die for your Peekaboo because it just cuts that perfect size arches, either a round arch or the squared arch, which is still rounded at the corners there, for $9.99, which is $12.95. I need that because I have some Peekaboos, but I don't have the arch dies because I couldn't get hold of them either in the same way. Now, we also have some colouring heaven in the show for you as well, in terms of our gorgeous tri-blends. Now, we have got the 6 packs for you. Really cool, actually. You've got the floral blends, portrait blends, vintage, woodland, natural blends, exotic, coastal and jewel shades. I love all of them. They're on a multi-buy there. Our graphics are a little bit skew-whiff there, aren't they? It's any two for £35 or $50. I think somebody's put 2 lots of graphics on that. They were very exciting. Right, here they are individually then. So you've got beautiful, so though that blend there, you can see, I think that's the coastal blends, isn't it? With the gorgeous blues and the greens on them. Sorry, that's portrait. There's the portrait. We'll go through all of them one by one. £19.99 if you want to buy them individually, or $29.95. You will know what you need to top up in your collection, or maybe it is a try me. Maybe it is try me tri-blends today for you to get a pack of 6. And bear in mind, a pack of 6 doesn't mean 6 in terms of tri-blend language. It means 18, doesn't it? Because every single one of those tri-blends are your light, medium and dark shades of the particular colours, which is amazing. We have got for you as well. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The reason we've got this on the show, and we've got it at a special deal as well, is because the arch dies were sold out. They literally arrived into the business today for us to put onto the show, which is brilliant. But this remains a brilliant deal. So you've got the acrylic ruler, the 30cm acrylic ruler. You've got the craft knife and 5 replacement blades for the craft knife, all at just £10, which is brilliant. £10 on $19. So it's a nice little deal. And actually, we could have removed that deal and left it as individual items at their regular prices, but we've kept that deal because also you might want to cut out your own apertures. I'll tell you how I haven't got the arch dies at home. What I did was took a nesting die and actually traced with my craft knife on the inside of a nesting die, and that's how I made my aperture for my Peekaboo. But now arch dies are back in stock, don't need to do that. Now we also have a totally wonderful, totally Tiffany buddy bag collection. I love the names they give to these bags. This is a really, really lovely bundle actually. You've got Edna and Teresa and Shelley and Sue and Irene and Brandy, and that sounds like a good night out, doesn't it? But for you, it is a brilliant storage bundle there for your inks, for your brushes, for your pens, for your everything. For your objet d'art in your craft room. £27. Now this is $38, should I say. This is the bundle that was on Cartload last night. So most of the stock has already been spoken for from the Cartload show last night. So we've managed to have it as a hangover from the Cartload last night. So if you want it, grab the saving while you can. £27, $38. Let's go and say hello and see who's watching out there today. Let's see. We've got Janet from PA. Hello, Janet. Hello, Laurie in Ohio. Sarah's with us in Melbourne, where it's already 10:10 tonight, which is good. Sue in Maryland. Rosalind. Oh, Rosalind. Oh, yes, actually, hang on a moment before we do anything. Is this the first time, Leanne, since that you've been on Crafters TV, since we've had a little bit of news?
It might be.
Tell us.
So my granddaughter arrived last weekend. Yay. We're really, really pleased. They're very well. Mother and baby are doing very, very well. And my son, Daddy, he's right in the middle of all of the baby looking after. So that's good. And we're off down to see them this weekend for the first time. So we're really excited. And she is the cutest little thing you've ever did see.
She is absolutely gorgeous. And have you had Debbie's banner? Debbie's bunting banner? I
have got the bunting banner,
Yay.
Yes. So that was passed over to me and that's going to go on the cut.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh, it's so exciting, isn't it? So exciting. And I don't even want to say, because like I don't want to say that word. How would you like to be referred to?
Grandma.
Grandma.
I'm okay with being a grandma. I don't mind that it sounds like you've reached a certain point in life, doesn't it? And it has certain connotations, but I'm very happy about that. So yes, grandma's fine by me.
Grandma, we love you.
That was a good song.
So sweet.
I actually bought that 45 for my grandma back in the early 80s.
Did
my
you?
Word. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Derek.
Yeah, Daniel, our producer, a director, should I say, has just said, "What's a 45?" Wow. Do you know what? It's like working in a creche here, isn't it, Leanne?
It really is like having a creche. Now, you see, I didn't feel old about being a grandma. now I feel ancient.
Right. Okay, just for anybody else that's watching that doesn't know what a 45 is, of course, it's a vinyl record. That's what we're talking about. Which most people in the know. Anyway, let's move on from that, shall we? Let's have a little look through our Peekaboos. If you've never had a Peekaboo before, you've got to have them. They are such fun. They're really, really good. Now, this is the 6-piece collection of what we refer to in-house as your everyday, but it's far from everyday, I have to say. So what you have here with your Peekaboos is your die, which is the Peekaboo element, and I love this, it's brilliant. So you can have in this case, the cat. You can have the cat looking out from inside the card. And the great thing about a Peekaboo is that you have the stamps for the face and the whole of the back of the character. So what you can do, ta-da, is have the whole of the character looking out from inside, and that's why they're called a Peekaboo. They're brilliant. They've got great sentiment stamps with them as well. So with this bundle, you have, you've got the cat, you've got the fabulous dog, which is so cute. You've got the elephant, so beautiful. And actually, this would be a very, very apt card, wouldn't it, for Leanne right now? With the welcome little one and the baby, the elephant. You also have the bear. This is the one that I have at home as well. I'm playing around with this one at the moment. It's brilliant. Peekaboos are so flexible as well. You can use them with or without the word. So you can put the word completely somewhere different if you want to, and then use the character in any way. So you can vary the distance between the words and the actual character itself. And there is the bunny as well. I'm really impressed with this bundle actually, because it's 6 of those animal characters for the price of 4 at £29 or $41. I'm super, super impressed. And I just think these are such fun. And Leanne, I'm sure you've got lots and lots of different ways that we can get these incorporated, because they are just brilliant fun, aren't they?
They're fantastic fun and incredibly, incredibly versatile. I thought what we'd do is take a little bit of time with this first little demonstration period to have a look at how we can use them with those fantastic frame dies with the apertures, and then also if you're not wanting an aperture but you are wanting to position them somewhere, how you're going to use your craft knife and ruler. So we're going to have a look at a couple of the concepts, and then we're actually going to make a card and use one of them as well. So you'll be able to understand exactly how to position them all and how to use them in different ways, so it'll communicate the real versatility to you. The first thing we're going to work with is our framed aperture die. So we can see we've got that there. Now we can do one of two things with this. We can just use it on its own, or we can take from one of the sets, and I've got one of my favourite designs here, and this is the giraffe with the word wild, which communicates what I can be occasionally on a weekend, I think. As long as it hasn't got the word thing on there, then that's all we need to worry about. But we do need a stamp actually with thing now, don't we? Wild thing, we do. Yes. So we can use that there. And you can see you've got the little die as well, which works with the little giraffe. We'll come to that in a second. So to cut this word, what we could do is line it up now and tape that all in place and cut it in one go. Or we can cut the aperture and then we can cut the words. My advice to you is when you first start using these, do one thing at a time, because if you do too much, you're going to get yourself possibly in a little bit of a pickle trying to tape all of the dies down in the right place. So you could just cut the aperture and then go and cut the word wild, and then go and cut your little giraffe as well. But what you can see is that actually those dies perfectly fit along there. They give you the perfect positioning, you can see. So all of the cut lines are in place, so it joins the perfect size of that aperture, which is why those apertures is such a good thing to have.
They are superb, actually.
They're really fantastic.
Really, really good. Now, I noticed when I tried with the one that I've got, the bear one at home, and I tried to line up, I think, what did I try and line up? I tried to line up what was not a nesting die, it was like a card cutting die. So it didn't have a cutting edge on one side, and I tried to slip the Peekaboo into that. But then I found, as I was trying to secure them and then try and get through the machine, one ended up drifting for the other by the time I got the plates on. So actually I completely see why you say, you know what, if you're just starting with them, do them one at a time, because otherwise you're going to have to take a bit of, the craft knife's going to be going on a bit of a wonky journey to connect the dots, kind of, so to speak. It could do,
absolutely. And that is definitely the way to do it when you're first starting. Once you've done it a couple of times, you'll get a feel for it. It might be that you choose as your preference to always do it like that, and that's absolutely fine if that's what you want to do. I'm making great pains here to tape this down so that I can avoid the moving, and actually my preference is when I'm crafting with these myself is to do it that way, is to cut one thing at a time. But for speed here today, because I've got lots to show you, I'm actually getting them all in place so I can run it through in one pass. And if you don't quite get it, you can go in with your craft knife and ruler and trim little pieces, but it gives you the lovely curve, Derek, which is the most important thing.
It all looks lickety-split from here.
Well, we'll see. We'll soon find out, won't we? And if it isn't, then you have got your fabulous craft knife and ruler.
Yes.
And you can just go and nick off the little pieces that are still caught. So I'm just using my junior plates. Switch the machine on, that would help. Through my Gemini machine, but this does show you that these dies work perfectly on the junior. And actually, if you're not using your frame and you're just using the little character on a strip, you can use them in your mini as well. So they're a really nice size in terms of using them as an edgeable. So I've run that through and cut it, and now I can start to remove all of my dies. And I was careful to position my tape, if you note, on the inside piece here. I didn't put any tape around the outside here. The reason I did that is that that's the piece that's coming away. That's the piece that's going to be removed. And so I can use quite a bit of tape and not worry about the fact that I might rip this piece of cardstock when I'm removing it, because I didn't have any of the tape around the outside. If I want to keep that pristine. If you're matting and layering, it doesn't matter because you're going to cover it over. But if you're doing a white card base and you want the card around the outside of the frame to remain pristine, then stick your tape all in the center when you're holding your dies still. Now I can see that I've got a little piece still connected there, which you should be able to see too. And I've got a tiny little piece here and a tiny little piece here where I hadn't pushed the die up high enough. And this is what I mean. And this might happen to you when you're lining it up, but it's absolutely fine, because all you're going to do is take your ruler and your craft knife, and that's why I think this ruler and craft knife on the show, even though we have the aperture, is the perfect thing to have, because it allows you just to catch these really professionally and quickly. Cutting on my Gemini plate there. I'm going to move that out of the way. I wondered why it was grabbing. I wanted it on my glass mat. There, so much easier on a glass mat. And then you can just join them up, the little pieces that you might not have quite caught, but you can do it really really easily.
That craft knife looks super grippy and like designed for comfort. A lot of them are quite skinny, aren't they?
They are.
And you feel like you're too close to the blade.
Well, this is a triangular shape. Let me just put the thing on while I show you, because I don't want to touch the blade. But you can see that this is a triangular profile.
Yeah.
And actually, when you see pencils for children in preschool can be triangular in shape. All of the pen and pencil adapters for severe arthritic hands are triangle shaped, because it's the most ergonomic and easy to grip shape there is for being secure and being precise. And so we wanted to make sure we had a really fabulous ergonomic shape. When you're using something as sharp as a craft knife, you don't want it to be slipping in your hand at all. And so it's got that nice soft touch grip as well, so it's not slippy. Even if your hands get warm, it's not slippy. So I've used the craft knife to cut that out, and you can see, so that just then easily removes. And what we've got is the little giraffe, the word wild, and then our fabulous aperture. And all you would do at that point is stamp over with your little design, with your stamps, over the top of the space that you've cut out. So we're going to use this little face. Get my stamping platform.
They are so cute. Listen, if you've got Peekaboo, so I know a lot of you have got the animal Peekaboos and some of the Christmas Peekaboos as well, please send us a picture. Tell us, show us what you've done with them. Show us where you've put your Peekaboos and who they've been for, and what the story behind giving them has been. We would love to see it. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Did you say, Laura, there were some coming through already? Fabulous, good. Okay, well listen, if you've been having a little play with the Peekaboos, because they are brilliant, and actually maybe this show has inspired you to open the pack. Maybe you've got them and you thought, I haven't got round to those yet. Well, maybe this is the show to do it and craft along with Leann.
There we go. So you can see you just line up your little stamp and put that over the space that you've got there, and you've been able to pop your little giraffe head on there. And then the additional stamp that you get, let me just find it where I've put it here, is the back view, which I love. So that's fantastic doing the front of your card, but when you turn it over, you've just got a giraffe silhouette. Well, what we've done is give you the back view as well as the front view, so you can pop that inside of the card as well. And the top part, the head and the shoulders, is exactly the same profile, so you're using the same die cut piece, but you're able to take the two separate stamps, and that's the same for every one of the designs we've got there. You're able to line that up, and because the stamps are see-through and your stamping platform has a grid on, you can get that perfectly lined up. And when you commit it, now you've got the reverse of the giraffe when you turn the card over.
It's so cool.
It is really,
it really is.
Really cool and very easy to use, Derek. Very easy.
Shall I just show you on my close-up board here how effective that looks as well, because it's really cool. So there is the front of the giraffe, and of course the great thing about this, the Peekaboo, is revealing the whole of the giraffe from the back, and it's the same with all of the characters, whether it's the cat or the dog or the Christmas robin or whatever. Just a quick one on this as well, by the way. We've got the two bundles for the animal and the Christmas Peekaboos, but we've actually got a multi-buy, so if you're buying on the individuals, you can actually mix and match between the everyday and the Christmas as well, which is really good. So it's worth knowing that. So if you wanted a giraffe and a festive mouse, you could do that as a multi-buy together. Any two for £11 or $17. So if you've got previous ones and you thought, actually last time I wish I'd have got or I've had so much fun with the Christmas couple that you bought last time that you want to add more to that collection, just know that you can mix and match between the animal characters and the festive, and you can still get in on that multi-buy, any two for £11 or $17, which is good. Not everyone would do that for you, but you know we love you here at Crafters Companion, so we make everything as kind of simple as it can be, because some of you have got some of the collection already and you're simply topping it up, so you've got absolutely everything, which is really, really, in fact, Christmas is very, very popular right now. I can't imagine why. I mean, the timing is so bad, isn't it? No, not at all. It's perfect time for Christmas card making, isn't it? And getting organised, Leanne.
Absolutely, and I love these because it's perfect for, and I'll show you in some of the samples, for a bigger sample if you want to do that and use all of the characters, so you've got a Christmas party happening, but then it's great for your smaller little cards as well. And so actually, if you're making little cards for kids to take to school for their friends, being able to do little 4-inch ones with a little cute character in there with a little aperture that you've cut yourself, they're fantastic for that. And actually, they're such simple shapes, simple but effective. You can even get them colouring them in themselves if that's what they wanted to do. So I just think they've got a myriad of uses. Now, what I wanted to show you here is I'm going to show you the finished card so you can see where we're aiming. We're going to aim to do this Z fold card using that little giraffe again, and I love it. I absolutely love this, especially being able to put the little reverse picture on there. But you can see we've also, because we've got the face, stamped the face on the opposite side, so it's peeping over the word wild. Yeah. And then when we open it, we've got the little back view. I just think that's absolutely gorgeous and cute. I really do. So I've got my Z fold piece here, and I want to show you how I get them nice and lined up straight. So what I've done is taken my little giraffe head and popped that there, and I've taped it still. And then what I've got is my ruler again, and it's really crucial, I think, to add your ruler and knife if you haven't got one at home that's nice and precise like ours, into the bundle. Because now what I do is I put my ruler up against the bottom of that giraffe, and then because we've got these fantastic grids on our ruler, you can see if I do it like that, that isn't straight, but I've got the grid there. So what I can do is make sure that I line one of those grids up with the base of my piece of white card, which is running along the bottom of my giraffe there. And then to get my word wild in the same position so I can cut this out with a craft knife, now I just bring that die down to my ruler and tape that in place.
Do you know, that's
at the
genius.
Piece that's going to get cut away. And now that, when it's cut, is in a perfect straight line, and I can just join that up.
That is genius. I'll tell you why that's genius, because actually it was the bear that I was having a little play around last night. I was hoping to make a complete card, but I ran out of time last night. And actually what I was doing was trying to line the die up on the card and then have the card against the grid on my glass mat, and then was working on eye. And the ruler I had was a metal one, so I couldn't see through the ruler, so that wasn't really any assistance in that. But that acrylic ruler with the grid on it, similar kind of thing to like a quilting ruler, so you can actually see through it as well. Yeah, that's something else that needs to go into my collection, because actually it's right tools for the right job again, Leanne, isn't it?
It is. Now I'm using junior plates, and so I had a piece of card hanging out the end, which means I've had to move it, and so now I've wrecked the whole thing, Derek. So if you can just give me a couple of minutes to get this right.
At all.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. Yes, what was I going to say then? I can't remember. We have got the complete set, remember, of the animal dies there for you. Let me run you through what we've got in those as well. So we've got the cat, and do you know what I love about these is the stamps that come with them. So you know that every one of the Peekaboos have the key word on them. So on the cat one, for instance, the word is perfect. So there's the stamps go with that beautifully. So you've got perfect friend, you can have a perfect birthday, thank you for being the perfect friend, you make every day perfect. So there's lots and lots of different really quite cute sentiments that go with them as well, which is lovely. Now remember, you can buy these individually or in a multi-buy as well, but this is the character dies as well. So I'll just take you through a few of the stamps here as well. So this one is friend, which is really, really good. So on friend, you've got you're my best friend, how thoughtful you are, dearest friend, hello friend, special friend, a best friend, and lots more. And I've just got to hop, skip and jump through to my favourite, and it will forever be, thanks to Craig. because this is brilliant. This is my favourite. This is one I've got at home as well. One of the sentiments, and it always makes me laugh, it really does, is that I just can't bear to be without you. And I just think that is the funniest thing. I'm going to make Craig a card with I can't bear to be without you. It's now like a running joke. Now, we've had some of you send in pictures. Thank you for that. Alison has sent us, oh, now look at that, Leanne.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's a bear on a ski slope.
It is. It's a slippery bear. Oh, I love that. That's really, really cool. And here's another one with the penguin. The penguin and the Santa, by the way, are absolutely in the lead right now. And I can see why, because they're absolutely brilliant. Listen, if you've made any cards with your Peekaboo, please share with us. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. In fact, Laura and Daniel in the gallery are getting some more prepared right now because there are loads of them coming in, which is brilliant, brilliant news. I love the Peekaboo concept because it's brilliant. It's like edgeables. It's like, it gives you that kind of nose in front, doesn't it, in terms of card making, because it allows you to do completely different things. Can I just remind you, again, because these are absolutely flying out of the door, that the arch dies to make the apertures for the Peekaboo dies to sit perfectly within, back in stock after a long absence as well. So that is almost like for your Peekaboos, of which there's quite a few in the range between the Christmas and the everyday, but this is the one that's going to make that perfect match aperture as well. $9.99 or $12.95. Right, are we all sorted, Leanne?
We are all sorted.
Good,
I'm
good.
sorry. I thought, I'll just tear that bit of card off the end, and it didn't tear straight. It went right across the middle, as card has a want to do every now and again. So I've actually run it through the die cut machine. So you see, I lined it up in the same way with my ruler. So now what you can do is peel those away. And again, I stuck it with my repositionable tape at the top of the word, because that's the bit that I'm going to cut away. So it doesn't matter if it rips the card. So I just move those two dies and move your repositionable tape, and you can always use your craft knife to help you get under that repositionable tape and get your die moving if you want to.
Do you know what this would be really, really good for, Leanne? And I was sort of half trying a prototype last night. A prototype. I love the way you call it a prototype. I've got myself down as a serious crafter now, so I make prototypes of things. But I really want to make a bookmark, because of course you can have the character peekabooing over the top of the bookmark and looking from behind as well. And then you can actually leave the cutaway from that. You can also have at the bottom as well of the character. So if you're cutting out the Peekaboo from a piece of card, obviously the silhouette, the other side that it leaves behind, you could have at the bottom of the bookmark, which I've sort of tried with the bear, but I'm working on that onto phase 3, I think.
I can't wait to see that prototype, Derek. That would be a fabulous prototype. I'm absolutely
I've built it up a bit.
Yeah. Now, did you see what I was doing there when I had the craft knife? You'll see I was lining my ruler up, but then I was poking my blade of my knife into these different little places just to make sure I had my ruler in a straight line. So I'm just going to take it away to show you what I was doing. Here are the little pieces that are cut with your word. So what I did was put my craft knife into one of those areas, because that's the straight line I want to cut. I then take my ruler to that and line that up with the other little pieces of straight line. And then all I was doing was popping my blade into the spaces to make sure that it was still butting up against the ruler, which means I've got a straight line. So then all I need to do is bring my straight line down and stop, and I can check that that's correct. So I just like to push to one side, and then I go into this little space here, bring it down, push again to make sure that I've caught everything as I'm working down there, then catch it again here, take it to the end, and that whole piece comes away really accurately, which then leaves you with your piece to stamp your little giraffe on.
Leanne, quick question.
Yes.
And I'm partly asking through my own trial and error, actually. But in terms of type of card,
yes,
because you are having to cut in with your craft knife as well, is there any kind of cards that you would say, actually, I wouldn't do it with XYZ kind of card?
I wouldn't do it with anything too thin. So you're kind of 160, 180 GSMs, which are really like a thick scrapbook paper. Probably not. I think you need 220 GSM and above, and I'm using a 300 GSM here. So I'm just going to fast forward to this piece for the Z fold card. So you can see I've done exactly as you've just seen me do here. And I've done a little giraffe here with the word wild, and then I've got my little Z fold, and I've got another little giraffe there. And then what I've done is take my stamps, and we're doing Blue Peter style, so I can actually show you how it all goes together. And then I've taken my stamps exactly as you've seen me do with the little aperture we've just looked at earlier. So you see when I stamped this, I've done exactly the same here and here, but I've also left the space so I can go and stamp the little face on there as well, so that when I fold it up, the little face shows through. So just to make sure you're stamping it in the right place, there's the piece that's facing forward. That's the one that's going to peep through. So I hold that, turn it over. This is the one I need to stamp my face on. And that's just because I can get distracted very easily and stamp the face in the wrong place and then have to glue that down.
And then say some choice words
and
to
then
yourself.
be very frustrated with myself.
Yes, and say, oh, fiddlesticks.
Yes,
and things
absolutely.
like that. We've got so many people joining us. If you've got any questions for Leann, by the way, then please do, drop them in. Sonia says, would you please ask Leann, for arthritic hands, do you recommend the straight blade craft knife or the swivel one? Because she's bought the swivel one.
Straight blade, Sonia. Because with the swivel one, it depends how arthritic your hands are. My father-in-law has very arthritic hands, and so he doesn't have very much movement in them. And so having the swivel blade, the handle is the same, so you would still be as comfortable, but what you need to do with that is be able to hold it and move at the same time. He would struggle with that. What he would want to do is just hold the craft knife and be able to cut with it against the ruler and hold it comfortably. So I think if you've got very limited dexterity in your hands, then you want the straight blade, which is the little bundle that we've got on for you today.
Oh, I tell you what, the timing of this show, Leann, is so perfect for a lot of people. I mean, lots of people are saying, right, well, mine have just arrived, so this is just brilliant. Ange says, I've got the Christmas Peekaboos. They're so much fun to colour and to use. Zena says, these are so cute. I've got 3 of them, but I've not played yet, so today's the day to get them out. And then send us a picture if you get a chance before the end of the show. Laura on Facebook says, oh, shh. Good morning from the X-ray department in Seattle. She says, I'll be right back. I've got to go and wake the babies for their close-ups. Oh, interesting. See?
Fantastic.
Things that you're doing whilst... things that get in the way of your crafters TV sometimes.
Absolutely.
Hilarious.
Now I'm going to colour these in now, so I'm using my tri-blend markers, which I think we've got on the show, don't we?
We have, yes, absolutely.
And so I'm going to be using the gold brown and the earth brown for my little giraffe here. And so I'm using the gold brown for his main body, and then I'm going to use the earth brown for his little nose and his spots. And you've seen us demonstrate tri-blend lots of times before, so we're just going to colour them in. I'm using my lightest colour, and you've heard me say this so many times before, and I'm preserving my highlight in the centre by leaving a little place white. And so I go with the lightest, and then because wet ink blends better than dry card, I then go over that same space with the dark, take my middle colour, bring that out into that preserved highlight, and then take my lightest colour again and fill in the centre, and I start to build up that lovely 3D dimension and colour on that little giraffe. And if you want to accentuate it, you can take your dark colour again and just go around the outside and give that a little bit more shadow. You see how lovely he starts to come together really, really quickly. So
cute. I love, do you know that the 2 words that always ring out in my ear whenever I grab a tri-blend are preserve the highlight, because I'm one of these people that tend to like colour the whole thing in, and I'm like, no, remember what Leann said, preserve the highlight, leave a bit in the middle for the highlight. Can I run you through quickly the tri-blend packs that we've got? Actually, I'll show you the one that Leann's using the selection from at the moment. So they come in packs of 6 that we've got on the show today. So you've got floral blends, which is your bright pink, bright pink, lavender, purple blend, dark red, orange and citrus blend. We've also got the portrait blends, which is the one that Leann's using right now, and that's coral, pale pink, fair skin, earth brown, tan blend and gold brown. Then we've got vintage blends, which is vintage blue, antique pink, dusky purple, red, brown, yellow, green, and muted brown. Sounds like a game of snooker, this, isn't it? I'm loving it. Then you've got your woodland shades, a really, really nice, sophisticated blend of colours here. Ice grey, earth brown, brown grey, tan, gold brown, and jade green. Remember, because of course you've 3 shades in each one of the tri-blends. You've got natural blends, which is light yellow, citrus green, dull green, hydrangea blend, ice grey blend, and brown grey blend. Then we go to something a little more autumnal, I would say, coming up to this time of the year. This is called the exotic blends, and this is burnt orange, aqua blue, gold yellow. I think I'd go for this because it's a nice broad sweep of colours, isn't it? Pink violet, alpine green, and magenta blend. Then we've got your coastal blends. So sweet. This reminds me, just every adventure by the sea. Ice blue, blue turquoise, true blue. Oh, I'm not going to sing it. Light green, jade green, and green turquoise. And finally, Esther, we have jewel shades, which is dark red, true blue, coral shades, bright pink, blue turquoise, and pale pink. So you just choose your favourite selection, because it might be that you're trying the tri-blends for the very, very first time. I mean, when I first bought some tri-blends, I thought I'm going to go for a smaller number of colours and see how I get on with them. But I tell you what, the vivacity and the intensity of the colour and the ability to shade, Leanne, is just genius, isn't it?
It really is. It just makes alcohol colouring the most simple thing, where you don't have to worry about selecting the right colour. You don't have to worry about selecting the right colour differences, the gaps in the colour. All of that hard work has been worked out for you. We're giving you the 3 colours which work together perfectly, the light, the medium and the dark, which means you take one pen, you colour, and you get that beautiful 3D dimensional light and shade, beautiful piece of artwork, and you get it really quickly and easily. If you're starting out on your alcohol colouring journey, or in fact if you've tried alcohol colouring and you've been frustrated and you haven't been able to get a good result in the past, get some tri-blends. That will make you get good results quickly, but it'll also teach you, it'll be an educational tool for how to select colours that go together and how to select the gaps going forward with the pen collection that you've already got as well. It's fantastic for all of that. So what I've done is I've coloured one here. You can see, oh yeah, I just love that little giraffe. I love them so much. But fast forward, here we go. We've coloured in with those earth brown and gold browns here and here. And then haven't coloured him on that. Oh, it doesn't matter. You'll forgive me. We would stamp him there and colour him in on that side as well.
Oh, well, see, because it came through.
It came through.
You looked at it quickly and thought, I've done that.
Do you know what it is? This is what you would do. So I was prepared and I didn't even realise. Sorry, I haven't slept much. I've been that excited the last few days. Don't know why.
She's a giddy kipper.
When we stamped it here, just to show you, there we go. So I stamped it on that side. If I was colouring this with pencil or with watercolour, I could do it in this way. Because we've done it with alcohol marker, as you quite rightly say, Derek, look, it pops through. So what you can do is just stamp the little head twice more, cut out with your die, and then what you can do is stick that over there so that you can't see the alcohol shining through. Does that make sense?
Ah, yeah.
That's what you would do. So you would just line up your die again, just make yourself a little topper. Okay, so we'll do that. Now, we're going to stick this in place. So I'm going to do that with my tape pen. You see, all I've done is make myself a fold back card. I've done some matting and layering. So you've done that lots of times. You don't need to see me do that again. And I'm going to use, oh, it's empty.
Oh no.
That in the bin. Oh.
Well, we've got plenty in the studio because we've actually managed to purloin, I think that's the word. The tape pen deals from last night's cartload are still live. So you can get 12 for the price of 9. I'll get you the details up on the screen at the moment. Whether you want the dotty tape pens or the tape runner pens, they are on basically a 12 for the price of 9, which is really, really good. Details right down the bottom of the screen. So if you're stocking up, you always need more than you think you're going to, because once you start, you can't stop, and you never want them to run out, as just happened to Leanne.
Absolutely, yes, exactly. So you see, I've stuck down my Z fold now, so it's all starting to come together, and I can see the word wild there. And then you're going to stamp yourself another one of these little giraffe heads. You're going to take your die and run it through the machine, and then you're either going to, with a craft knife, cut along there, or with a pair of little scissors, snip. It's entirely up to you. Once you've done that, you'll have that cut out, and then we're going to stick this over the back, so he's peeking through underneath that word wild there. So I'm using a little bit of my all-purpose glue because it gives me repositioning, and I can see from inside there where I'm putting it, and I can give it a little wiggle so it's lined up nice, and then it'll stick nice and solidly in place. So now he's peeping through perfectly, and we've got the back view because it's alcohol coloured. Then additionally what I've done is take the word wild, the die cut again, and I've run it through just on a piece of spare brown cardstock, and then I've just, if I show you that there we go, and then I've just run my craft knife along the bottom to cut it out of the brown cardstock, and now I'm going to use my tacky glue just to put some adhesive on the back of there. If my dotty tape pen hadn't just run out on me, I'd be using my dotty tape pen for this, guys, because look, it's so delicate. You've got to be careful with your tacky not to let that squidge out. So I would actually be using my dotty tape pen, but it's just run out on me.
But it will ultimately dry.
Oh, it'll dry clear.
Clear.
Yeah, absolutely, it'll dry clear. No problem at all. So you wouldn't be able to really see it, but it's less messy and quicker for you, because you can see here, look how the glue squidged through on that D there. Now that starts to bother me and I need to clean it away.
Can I just say thanks for putting Wild Thing in everybody's head?
Are they all singing along?
Everyone's singing along. I know that's all I can hear in my head, because you know there's only noodles in there usually, but now there's Wild Thing, which is bumping around in my empty head.
So that just lets us decorate the word wild, and then I've got some mats and layers just to mat and layer that little piece of Z fold there, and then once that's a finished card, put a little ribbon on, and there we go. That's how you're going to use those fabulous little characters and be able to position them on any kind of different design you like. Now, just before we was away from me, what I would like to show you is this, because you've just seen me show you how to use them with the aperture, and you've seen me show you how to use them with the craft knife. I want to show you now some inspiration, because now you understand exactly how to cut them out. I want to show you some inspiration in terms of the different places you can put them and the different concepts you can create. This is how you'll understand the versatility. So you can see there's very similar to what I just showed you earlier with the aperture, cutting out the little elephant and the word baby, but you can see the verses that come with will go inside perfectly. Here we've got one of those fantastic diorama cards, so you can see a diorama card works really, really well. Thank you for being the perfect friend. Here we've just cut them all around a square, so we've made our own decorative little frame, doing the little elephant and the word baby all the way around a square, which is fantastic, isn't it?
Brilliant.
There's the card that you've just seen me make, a Z fold with the little puppy dog popping up in all of the different places. Here we've just got a larger card with that aperture rather than a square card, but what we've done is take the stamp and stamp a couple of little doggies around there, so you could put little doggies, more doggies popping up. Here you've got your little small, so you can see it's a lovely little small card that you could do. You can do your steppers if you want to do your steppers, and then the elephant bottom is poking through, so you can see that from the reverse. I'm just going to show you around there. So from the reverse of your stepper, it just completes that full 360-degree design for you. Don't necessarily worry about putting your aperture straight. Put it on a slant, because he's wild. He isn't about straight things. He's about being quirky and going on a little slant there. Here you can use them as an edgeable. I really wanted to show you this. So these characters now are edgeables as well. And let me just show you. So you see how we've stamped the reverse of the little pussycat and the front of the little pussycat. What you would do is just take and this is the giraffe die, so it's not the perfect shape, but you'll get the idea. On the fold of your card, stamp the head at the top of the fold, so the little paws are there, and then position your die and cut that above the fold. When you fold it down, you've created a little edgeable card, so you can use them in that way as well. And then there's all of these different ways too, Derek. I mean, honestly, I could just keep going. We can do little easel cards, have the aperture coming through an easel. You can see the word friend there, put the little characters all around. You can use the little wild characters and just have the aperture, but don't have the characters in the aperture. Stamp them here. You've got a whole family of little giraffes up the side there, yeah. And one of them's turned round, he's in the hoof. And you see you've got a stepper here, and you've got one of those fantastic half folds. And that's not, I mean, you could put it in the aperture of a gift box if you want to. That's just a little soupçon of the different
brilliant.
Places you can actually put these in the different ways you can use them.
They are superb. Actually, I did it. The bookmark one, I did in that kind of edgeable style. So the bear is right at the top. And then I cut that out on a separate piece of card. I think sort of frame it and then put the sort of cutout of that at the bottom of there. That's definitely going to come to something. I'll let you know when it does. I'll put it online. Okay, just a very, very quick question about your last card, Leanne.
Yeah.
Did it start off as a 5.5 inch? I've got June asking me.
Yes. So whether you're in the USA or the UK, this is a full piece of either US letter or A4 card, done as a fold back, and then a 2.5 inch piece cut from the bottom, which gives you your square card and your then piece to turn around and use as your Z fold.
Fabulous.
So this is about 5 3/4 inches square because it's A4, but that would be 5.5 if you're in the USA.
And do you remember the paper pad that you used for your matting and layering? Sorry, I know it's that impossible question, isn't it?
I think
it's
it might
a big
be.
stash.
I can't remember. I can't even I don't even want to hazard a guess.
Okay. Well, listen, if anybody else recognises it from their library of paper pads and can remind Leanne and also help out Helen on YouTube, that would be ace. Please let us know in the comments. Vicky says the giraffe looks so cute. There you go. I had an Australian tablet there for a second. Right, let's have a look at more of your pictures as well. So, this feels like the gallery. Let's have a look at a selection of your pictures in the gallery. Ding, 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 do, do, do. We need that tune, don't we? Sandra from round the corner. You're as cute as a bunny. Love that. I love the flowers underneath it as well. It's really nice bringing florals in to that bunny peekaboo. Right, let's have Sean next. Oh, that's cool. This is called a rocker, isn't it? Is it a rocker card?
It is a rocker.
Yes.
It is a rocker. Not like a punk rocker.
No.
But yes, it does rock. It's a rocker card.
Do not put any more songs in my head, Leanne.
Sorry.
I've still got Wild Things
we've just been
running
chatting
around.
about all sorts, haven't we? We've been chatting about Gary Barlow.
Honestly.
Haven't we? And Harry Styles.
Styles,
all of the people. Been having a nice conversation.
Bradley Cooper, wasn't
Bradley
it?
Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. Daniel Craig came up in conversation as well. Here's Sean's having a perfect day. Oh, I like that. Is that two? It's
a shaker.
So it's a shaker up at the top there, and then the little cat is peeking out of the other little window there. That's really, really cute. Love that. Thank you, Sean. Georgia. Having a perfect day. Oh, now I recognise that balloon edgeable as well. So she's got the cat peeking over the two, peekabooing over the top, and then that's that balloon's edgeable, isn't it? What I love is that's from our curved edgeables, isn't it? The balloon one. Modern curved collection. Oh, I love it. Brilliant. Thank you. Another one from Georgia.
Oh, I like that.
We're proud of you with 3 of the characters there. The little bunny, the cat, and the dog as well. How cute. Beautiful. Love it. And one more from Sean. Welcome, baby. Oh, I'm thinking it must have been a boy. How cute. I love that paper. And a cute little ribbon as well. Oh, I love it. Keep them coming. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, because to be honest, if we're all honest about it, that's our favourite bit, is seeing what you've done with these as well. So let us know. Right, we have got a totally Tiffany, totally amazing bundle of goodies for you in one easy, click once, all done kind of scenario. I love this. This was in Cartload last night, so with Sarah and Joe. My word, that show moved at like 300, that was quicker than the bullet train in Japan, let me tell you. Let me show you the bundle. These are so good. I mean, storage is so important. As soon as you have any kind of stash in your life, especially things that it would be handy to be able to see, like the colour of your markers, the colours of your ink pads, etc, etc. So this is a brilliant bundle. Edna's first. Edna's great because she can get lots and lots of ink pads in Edna. Do remember though that if you're using this for your ink pads, that would be great for porting them around and carrying them around, but then you would then stack them label up. I have learned from Leanne's Inkpad 101, you see, I remembered. So Edna is there. You've also got Teresa is in there. Teresa's good for things like your embossing powders and your glitters, and it's just a little bit smaller and bijou. And I love how strong the one-touch fastening is. But I think the secret to Totally Tiffany storage is that you can totally see what's going on inside it. It's really, really good. And it all comes with the handy little handles. After Teresa, you've got Shelley. And again, we've stacked some gilding waxes in this as well. So they'll take some real weight as well. They might look fairly sort of insubstantial, but actually the material that this is made from is as strong as an ox, let me tell you. This is Sue. We've seen Sue a few times. So Sue's brilliant because she opens up at the side and at the top as well. So that means you can fill the whole of that space with whatever you want to and need to. So that's in that bundle too at £27. That's quite handy, isn't it, for keeping your zips and bits and pieces. Love that. Then we've got Irene. I thought it was Reenie there for a second. It's Irene. There's Irene. You can get a lot in there as well. So it's good for your little drops, your little pearl drops that you have and things like that. Just very, very practical. And actually that can be taller if you need it to as well, because you've got the one touch on the side there at 2 different levels. So you can seal it up there to have bottles that are slightly taller, might be your Mr. bottles and things like this. And then the biggest one is this one. And what's your name, my dear? I've forgotten completely and utterly. Brandy. Brandy. Oh, fancy forgetting that one, Leanne. Fancy
I thought you were talking to me.
The one with the alcoholic name. No, I wasn't offering you a drink.
I thought you were talking to me. I was like, first of all, I was like, what's your name? I thought he'd lost it. What's your name, my dear? I'm like, it's Leanne. Come on, Derek, it's Leanne. And then, oh, would you like a brandy, dear? I'm like, yes, I'd like a brandy, dear.
Yeah, it wasn't an offer. It was just another gorgeous story. So all of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gorgeous, gorgeous, totally Tiffany. This is a cartload deal as well, so really we shouldn't have it. Half the stock sold out last night in the cartload show, so if you want to grab this right now, it's just really, really simple, isn't it? £27 or $38. Now, I'm going to have to move. Oh, this bundle sounds like a good night out with, you know, Brandy and Irene and Sue, and they're all there, ready for a night out together. Right, let's talk about the Christmas Peekaboos, because that's what we're going to be demonstrating next for you. The Christmas ones are brilliant. So it's the same kind of principle as we saw with the animals, but now we're talking Christmas. And this is fantastic. So many of you have these in your collection already. So in this one, I'll run you through, because there's basically 8 for the price of 5 here. So the value is awesome. £50 on this one. So this is Santa peeking out from inside, and it's laden with gifts there as well. Then you've got the cheeky little elf, and so cute, so cute. We're going to have fun colouring, I think, with these as well, because you know there is so much, and all the Christmas colours. And I don't know about you, but I love when anything needs colouring. If there's reds and golds and greens involved, you're just that little bit happier, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? You've got your Peekaboo snowman. He's very, very well dressed, as you can see. You've got the penguin, which is pretty much the most popular of all of the Christmas Peekaboos, with the Santa. Then you've got, look at that. So cute. So cute. Looks like he's already on the mince pies though, doesn't it? It's quite a round Robin, I have to say. Oh, look. Look, the little festive mouse has got his little nightcap on. He's all dressed for snuggly winter bedtimes. And then you've got the polar bear as well. And let's just see him peekabooing out with his lovely chunky knit scarf as well. Right, now listen, that's the boards in monogram, black and white. Let's see them in full living colour, Leanne.
Oh, these are absolutely divine, Derek. And I do love the fact that you can do a load of simple little cards if you want, or you can do some real performances as well. I mean, look at this. This is just absolutely fantastic. Use all of your stencils. Use your fantastic Harmony Water Reactive inks. Use your stamps. Use your pretty papers. Look at the aperture that we've managed to do there. And we've got all those little die-cut snowflakes dangling in the background. And then we've got all of the little bears around the outside. We've got a little reverse here with the word holiday. And just so you can understand what we've done here actually, Derek, that is the aperture that you've seen me cut when we used the giraffe. So it's been cut in, and then we've just cut the word holiday in the little bit further down, used our craft knife again to come down the long pieces here to elongate that aperture. So you see how the craft knife and ruler perfectly goes with your aperture dies because you get the nice curve, but then your craft knife and ruler is going to extend all of that for you, so you could actually do that in a really tall card or in a box front if you wanted to.
So it opens up the space then for you.
Absolutely. Now imagine this is a box front or a larger card. Cut one of your apertures here, one of your little frames, cut one at the bottom, join them in the centre with your ruler. You've got a great big oval aperture then. So the possibilities are endless. That's why I keep saying add that fantastic knife and ruler in with your bundle. So that's just one of the examples there I wanted to show you. Here you can see we've cut it into the front of a gift box, and we've got lovely little gifts in there. And I've done the little jolly word as I did with the word wild, with definitely the mince pie eating Robin that we've got there. He's definitely had all the pies, hasn't he? Usually me at Christmas that eats all the mince pies, I have to say. There we've got that really cute little elf. I love that, and you can see again decorated inside with our matting and layering, and the little reverse with dropped his little Christmas list there beside him. The attention to detail is fantastic. The penguin, one of my very favourites, and you can see we've used it here a little bit differently. We've got one looking into the aperture, and we've got somebody popping over a snowdrift there on one of those fabulous little diorama cards. Here we've got just some examples of what I mean about really cute but simple and quick little cards, where all we've done is just the little snowman and the word snow, piece of decorative paper inside with that aperture, and you're ready to go. Same here with the little polar bear, just very simple, but they still make a real statement. Still really, really fantastic, and look like you've spent a lot of time. Do your shaker cards, shaker cards, in the words of Taylor Swift. This one I have to show you. Oh my word, this is just incredible. So here we've got Santa in the centre, and Santa, look, we've used some other little stamps that we have in our collection, trees and little reindeers and what have you. And he's going for a little walk in the forest. But you can see our little reindeer people down here. This is a penny slider card. So our little reindeers will move all the way around. You see how they twirl? So you can, when somebody's got this, they'll hold it flat in front of themselves, and the little reindeers will move around the outside of Santa. And that's just popping their little heads onto a penny. You'll have seen penny slider tutorials in the past. I think that's absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, just use your pretty papers if you want to. You can see that there. Here we've got reindeers giving each other piggybacks to have a little look and speak to the other reindeer. Reindeer is my favourite design, but then I do love little mouse too, I have to say. Really cute. And again, use your ink pads, Derek, and use your pretty papers. But this one I've got to show you. This one, look at this. This is what I was meaning about. Use them all and have a family of characters.
It's like a panto going on there.
Really fabulous. So you're just using a long piece of card on your Gemini plate, lining up all of your different little characters along the way you want to cut your aperture. You're going to use your craft knife and ruler for this, and then colour them all in. And how fantastic is that? And even have a couple popping down from the top there, some of your big sentiments that you've got. And it's a real little family, isn't it? It's fantastic. And look, we've even got all of the little inside. It's all finished off beautifully. I adore that. And if you've got your texture paste and you're a mixed media crafter, look at those coming down the snow slope.
Wow, love it.
Your creativity is going to go mad with these. And actually, Derek, I love your idea of a bookmark. I love that idea, and I'm going to make them for little stocking fillers for my family for Christmas. I'm going to take your prototype and inspiration. I'm going to steal it, Derek. I'm going to do it for my family.
Oh my gosh, I'm feeling the pressure of that now. Oh dear, that prototype is definitely going to have to go into full production, isn't it? Actually, Zena on Facebook just made a really, really good point. Actually, that the giraffe and the elephant in the character peekaboos would go amazingly with the hunky-dory Twilight Safari papers. And they absolutely would. If you've got those darker textured papers, or you've got the Twilight Safari with all the oranges and pinks and purples in it, it would be absolutely brilliant. Coletta on YouTube says, I had to purchase the wild one. That's because everyone has wild thing. It's in everyone's head now, isn't it? Completely, thanks to Leann. Sarah says, I'm really enjoying the show. Thanks, Leann, for demonstrations. I'm going to try these for mine. Pamela says, hello, Derek and Grandma Leann. I'm still making for Christmas, but come November when they're all done, I can play with all these dies and crafty stash I've been buying. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And Marcia says, what's the address to share a card? I'll get it back on your screen. It's studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, because obviously we're here at CCHQ in the UK. We'll show some more a little bit later on. Penguins and polar bears, Mary Jane's loving. I mean, listen, with the Christmas ones, there's everything to love. Don't forget your aperture dies as well, because they are back in stock. Just for those people who've already got Peekaboos but couldn't buy the arch dies before, they are back in stock after a long absence, very, very long absence. So I can't wait to see what we're doing for Christmas, Leann.
Do you know, I'm going to show you how to make little place names for the Christmas table.
Oh, perfect.
Little, what do you call it?
Place settings.
Place settings. Thank you, Derek. I was struggling. Obviously, since I became a grandma, I can't get all the words out, and I forget the words because that is what grandmas do, isn't it?
So is being a new grandma a bit like being a new mother then? Like, because obviously you've now experienced both, but it's like a similar kind of like new grandma haze going on, is there?
It's better.
Oh, is it?
Yes, I've told my son, I never thought that there could be another person in the world. When you become a mother, you're overwhelmed with love, as everybody will know.
Yeah.
And I always thought that there would be never another person in the world that I would love as much or could love as much as my son. However, I did have to inform him at the weekend that he's being usurped.
Oh. Oh.
I mean, he took it well. Really, he did. He took it well. He took it on the chin, bless him, he did. I said, I just thought, Peter, I was never going to love anybody as much as I loved you or more, but I think maybe I do. I know.
Oh dear. See, as a new dad, that was the last thing he expected.
Yes,
either.
I mean, I know he was like, oh, okay. No, he's fine. He's basking in the glow.
I'm sure he's a big boy now.
He's a big boy. He can take it on the chin. So we're going to have a look at these penguins. I love these little penguins. So what I've done is already get my little place card ready. And I've cut my piece of card to kind of credit card size here, Derek, and I've stamped the rear end of my penguin in place. So I've just used my little stamp from the set there, stamped him in place, and then what you would do, and I've got all of this Blue Peter style so I can show you a lot more during the show, pop your little die on, tape it in place, whiz it through, and when you've done that, this is what you've got. So you see you've got that little piece that comes away and you've got your penguin popping up there. Then we're going to colour that in. Now, as well as doing that, I've also stamped my little penguin face and then used the same die and run that through to cut him out. And then what I just do is use my snips or my craft knife and trace around that piece so I've got an entire little topper. So that's what I've done to get myself prepared. But I'm going to get my tri-blends out again, Derek, and I'm going to colour in the reverse of this little penguin. And I'm going to use my ice grey. So let's get these out.
We'll stay all the way through the colouring this time because I interrupted the colouring last time and I'm not going to this time because we want to see absolutely everything. Because actually, with your characters, because you've got cats and dogs and penguins and zebras and whatever, they're all furred, aren't they? I don't know why I stroked myself when I said that, but they're all furred animals.
They are. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can colour it in. You can do a smooth blend, as I've got here, or you could do a textured blend, actually, to replicate the fur. So I thought we'd have a quick look at how to do both with the tri-blend, and then you get an idea of the different results you'd be able to get. So first things first, let's do the smooth blend because that's what I'm going to use. So I'm just putting a piece of scrap card under here to absorb the ink if it comes through the cardstock. And I've got my ice grey shades and my ice grey blend here. And you're getting both of those in the sets that we've got on the show. So I'm going to use my ice grey blend first. And exactly as we've done before, circular motions with the lightest colour around the outside. And what that does is wet the card for us, working in small areas at a time because wet ink blends much more easily than dry cardstock. And then I go in with my darkest colour to the opposite end of my tri-blend pen, bring that colour all around. So you see lots of little circular motions here. There we go. And then with the middle colour, I can bring that dark colour out into the centre. And so I'm able to start building it up. Now what you will see is, for sure, that this isn't dark enough to be a penguin. And this is where your shade colour that comes in your collection works brilliantly with your blend colour as well. So I've already started to build up the dimension, but now I swap to my next tri-blend pen, which is my ice grey shade. And I start in exactly the same vein. So I'm going to use the darkest colour and I'm going to come around the outside. My ink's already wet, remember, because I've just done that little bit of colouring, so I didn't need to go with the lightest at this point. Just bring the darkest colour around the perimeter.
I love the way it's building up.
And it does start to build the colour up really well. And then take your middle colour, bring that out into the centre, and you're just using your little circular motions again, building up that colour as we go. This is with our middle colour. There we go. And remember, we're preserving the highlight all the way in the middle, Derek, so it's always lighter, and we fill that in at the very, very end. And then we go to the lightest colour on here.
He's getting warmer. Got more feathers now.
He has got more feathers.
Do they have feathers, Penguin, or is it like a...
I think, no, it is feathers.
It's like furry, isn't it?
Is it fur? Are penguins furry? Oh, I thought penguins were feathery. Well, that shows you what I know.
No, because they swim quite a lot, don't they, underwater? So
oh, so it might be like a sea lion fur.
Yeah.
Maybe. So you see, we're starting to build that up, and you'll just keep going until you're happy with it and build up your blend. There we go.
Oh, they are feathered.
I thought they were feathered because they ruffle their feathers, don't they, when they get the little baby in the pouch?
Yeah.
And then because this is such a dark colour, what you would want to do is go over with a couple of layers. And I think sometimes we get a little bit scared to do that with alcohol colouring. So if the blend doesn't look perfect at first, it's just because you haven't saturated your card enough. And so you just go around with another layer and build up your dark, medium and light. And immediately you do that, you can see that the blend starts to become much more smooth once you've done a couple of layers. And you just do that for your whole little character. But you can see I've left that light shade all the way down the centre there, his head and the middle of his back, and then just a little golden yellow feet.
And so then you could clear emboss over that, couldn't you? Which would like intensify that colour and just give that sort of waxy gloss a little bit, couldn't you?
Absolutely. And then I've done exactly the same with the little head. I've just done the ice grey with a little bit of golden brown, a bit of pale pink on his cheeks, and I've got the little head there ready to go. So they're my pieces ready to start making my little place card. So then all I've done is take a piece of pretty scrap paper, and these little place settings are fantastic for using all of your tiny scraps from your favourite Christmas pads that you've saved, because you only need a tiny piece. I've mat and laid onto a piece of craft card, and that's going to go on the reverse here. I'm going to put that there. So that's going to go on the back, so I can see the little penguin at the reverse, and I'm just going to stick that in place with some of my Kalal all-purpose.
Should we have a little bit more chat about love?
Let's do
and new
that.
grandmas. Mary says on Facebook, she says, when you become a grandma, the love factor is multiplied by 1,000,000. She said, I love my kids, but nothing compares to being a grandma. I'm now a great grandma 4 times over. Fantastic. Congratulations.
Wow.
Deborah says, Leanne, I always said the same thing. I never thought I could love anyone more than my children until I had grandkids, should I say. And it's because you look at that baby and you think, wow, my baby made this perfect angel. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. The love is unbelievable. Oh,
it really is.
Kind of sweet, isn't it?
I know. See, I'm pleased I'm not the only one. I did tell my son that at the weekend. Maybe I should have saved that for a while, But anyway, there we go. And he's like, "But you haven't even seen her yet." I'm like, "I know, but I know. I just know by looking at her. I know." It really is. It's a different kind of love. I think, Derek. It's a different kind of love.
Yeah, and thank you. Sorry, just going back to the penguins just very briefly. Trish, thank you. Yes, you're quite right. Penguins have feathers like all birds, Derek. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. It's because I had this picture in my mind of penguins swimming underwater, and they look very sleek and waxy underwater. And I don't know why, but my head said, well, if it's swimming anyway, don't worry about that. Let's go back to grandma chat.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've put that in place with my tape pen, and then what I've got here is just a little piece of just 1 inch of cardstock that I've folded in half, and I've put a little bit of what's the word? Tape pen, that's the word on there. And then what I'm going to do here is just stick this on the bottom of the reverse of this little place setting. So I'm rubbing that in place there, and that's going to create my stand for me, but I can still see my little penguin from behind. So I would be able to stand that up. There we go, makes my little stand for me. And then what I'm going to do now is take my 3D glue gel and my little penguin head that I've cut out. So remember, I stamped him, used the die to go around the outside, then the craft knife just to trace around his little face there. And I'm going to use a little bit of 3D glue gel just to give this a little what's the word? 3D dimension.
Yes.
So that's the word I'm looking for.
Let it pop out.
Yeah, so I'm touching it at the head, so it's like that. But then his hands look like they're popping over now. Hands, has he got hands? Flippers, wings, whatever they are.
Wings, he's a bird, remember?
Wings, he's a bird, yes. Those little hands, he's got hands. Those little hands are popping out now. And then you can take the name of the person who this place setting is for. If you've got our glitter markers or our metallic markers and you're good at brush lettering, write that yourself. And then you can do all of your little Christmas place settings ready for Christmas, and you've got that fantastic little stand there. It doesn't like my glass mat. So now my husband and I, look, we have matching ones.
Oh,
I'm going to do them for everybody.
oh, that's amazing. Actually, do you know what, Leanne? When you met Simon, isn't it?
When I met my husband,
when you met
yes.
your husband, you know, it would have been, I'm sure, probably a series of dates, of romantic dinners, of nights out, and all the rest of it. If you'd have been penguins. The way a male penguin woos the female, he gives her some rocks.
Wow! Well, as long as it was a precious rock, you know, as long as it had been
smooth,
faceted, and it was kind of see-through, that kind of rock.
I see. In
a setting, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
that rock would be fine.
Well, just be glad you're not a penguin.
Yeah,
then.
be glad I'm not a penguin. I think I watched that on a David Attenborough program, and the reason is the given rocks is because they can simulate. It's to build their nest, but also simulate carrying something. You know, when they carry the egg around, they actually will practice carrying the rock.
Oh, so actually it's a bit of a backhanded compliment then, really, isn't it?
It's a backhanded compliment, yes.
Here's a pretend egg, so that you're ready when it comes along, love.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of thing, isn't it?
That kind of thing, yeah.
Oh,
that's exactly what it is.
It's a wonder she doesn't tell him where to stick it.
So romantic, those penguins.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, that's boys all over, isn't it, really? But there you go. There we lose again. Donna on Facebook says, how do you get the glue gel into the dispenser?
Oh,
actually, our Debbie has been through this quite a few different times, but there's a bit of a secret, isn't it? Well, not a secret necessarily, but you kind of the filler, where the glue comes out of the tube, and the top of the because I had to do this in the last few days, the syringe, they match beautifully. And then you just basically go all the way to the end, don't you, Leanne, until there's no more, and then put your stopper on and there you go.
Not quite all the way to the end.
Oh, not all the way, no.
Not all the way to the end, because if you go all the way to the end, so this one's, I'm going to just, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to waste some glue in the bin. Sorry, nobody can see
I
this.
had to do exactly what you're doing right now. I had to do my first fill because I filled it right to the end. Don't do that, because of course your syringe end needs to go in before you start using it, because otherwise you're going to have to do what Leanne just did and what I did on first time, which was I'm going to have to just squirt some of that away into the bin, because it will be no use unless I use it straight away, because it's going to go hard, because that's what it's meant to do. Absolutely.
Now, I just found my winder. I wanted my winder and I've just found it. So you definitely don't lose your... Oh, somebody's been poking their glue with the winder. Honestly, you can't get the craft experts these days for setting us other craft experts who want to just use their winder in the proper windy way. And it's a bit... So, it was Fiona. Fiona, this is your fault. What have you been poking the glue with your winder for? I mean, come on. Anyway, there we are. I've managed to clean that out. Thanks, Fiona. I'll remember that and do the same for you one day, sweetheart. No, we all love each other. She'll be laughing her head off, because I'm a grumpy old lady, just the same as Fiona is. Stop poking your glue with your winder.
Checking in this cupboard, see if there's any chill pills in here. No, can't see any.
Honestly, I was having a moment there. I'm like,
I
who's
think you
been
were.
doing that?
I think you
so
were.
you've got your open syringe now, and now you've got your winder on your glue instead of poking your glue with your winder. Sorry. And then the top of your tube fits perfectly into the syringe. Can you see? So none's going to come out. It's the perfect size. So you're going to hold that still. So this in your 2 fingers like this. Glue on the top. Hold the tube like this. Then you're going to wind that glue into your syringe. Voila. Now when you wind it in, you can see it going in there. Your winder helps you. Stop when you get there to the 1. So don't fill it all the way to the end. Stop when you get to the 1, which then allows you enough space to put your plunger in and take it down to the end. And now you see your winder has come to the top of the 5. So you've got your 5 mils in there. Your syringe is full. So your glue only goes to the 1, and then your push goes in. If you don't do that and you fill it to the top, the glue backs out here and gets all over your hands. Then you can put your little end on there, and now that will stay in there and it will not go hard as long as you leave this on. And leave that on, and that's all ready now, and that's how you fill it up.
Fabulous.
Then, this is very important.
Yes.
Derek. Just before you put the lid on, before you put it away, wind your winder up and make sure you've got about that much sticking out. Can you see there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the reason for that is if you don't do that, you leave a vacuum and you leave the ability for air to get inside, and then your whole tube of glue will go hard over some time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And what you'd want to do now is when you put your lid on, what will happen is this will form a seal across the vacuum, and now when you take your lid off, all of this glue will now it'll be like that for another 6-12 months if you didn't use it, because you've put a nice film, a nice seal on top. If I take this off now, you can see that's gone nice and flat on there. So you wouldn't have the vacuum inside.
Do you know what?
So that you waste your glue.
I'm so glad you said that, Leanne, because, and I'm so glad in a way, not that I don't love being here completely and utterly, but I'm quite glad that I'm just on a half day, because as soon as we're finished, I need to get home and just make sure that's the first thing I need to do. Never mind feeding the cats or anything else. I need to go and check my glue.
You need a little glue dome and then put your lid on.
Yeah, I do. Right, thank you for
Welcome.
that. Right, you're all right now.
I think I've calmed down,
Okay,
Fiona.
that's good. Good, I'm glad. I was getting a bit worried there, because you've got another show yet today as well. And I don't want to spoil in the day, you know what I mean? Oh dear, Fiona, I think a box of chocolates might be in order. Yeah, when she says she's over it, I think that was just for the telly. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go through our Santa collection of the Peekaboo, shall we? It is 8 phenomenal Christmas Peekaboos. So you've got your Santa there with all the stamps as well, remember. There's quite a variety of stamps in each of the sets. You've got the little cheeky little elf. You've got the reindeer as well, which is very, very... I love how these characters look from the back. And I loved actually in the samples that Leanne was showing us before, how, because of the way they're shaped on the back, you can actually have them, the ones that have legs, identifiable legs, you can actually stand them up on their shoulders, on each other's shoulders, which I think is really, really great. So if you've got a tall aperture, you put your aperture right at the top of the tall card, you could actually have a little stack of 3 or 4 of them up there on each other's shoulders, getting the view, which I think is really, really cool. You've got the little festive mouse and you've got the polar bear all in that bundle. Now that's like 8 for the price of 5, by the way, at £35 or $50. Let me show you the other ones, because you can actually, if you're doing the multi-buy on this one, you can mix and match between the 2 collections. So what we call the everyday collection, which is far from everyday, these are the animal character ones. You can actually mix and match between the 2 collections. So here is the animal collection, which is fantastic, which is the perfect friend, which is the cat. See how many stamps there are in that as well, by the way. I mean, it's really, really cool to go with that big key word, which on the dog one is friend, on the elephant one is baby. So that's the ones you've seen in all of the samples, welcoming new babies. And look, I love the way you can stamp him looking out, and he can be looking in just as easily. And of course you can die cut him separately, which I'd never thought of until Leanne said it in this month. See, that's why a masterclass is brilliant, because you really do get to delve as deeply, or much more deeply, than you would if we were just sort of featuring it in a show, which I think is fantastic. So it's almost like additional after sales support for free. But you know what? It's not a kettle or a washing machine we're talking about or anything dull and boring like that. It's really, really creative, you know, card making. So remember, this is, is it 5 in this set? 6 in this set, 6 for the price of 4 basically, isn't it that? £29, $41. Now the mix and match, the multiply between the two collections, so you can go for between the everyday and the Christmas ones there, 2 for £11 or $17. So if you've just bought a limited selection last time when they've been on the show, you want to top that up, you can with a new multi-buy between the Christmas and the everyday as well. Now don't forget, we've got back in stock, oh don't tell me I've lost mine. No, that can't have happened. That can't have happened. Behind, to the right, there we go. I've got it. Because it's only just back in stock after an absence of a long, long time. And these are very, very important dies, your window dies, your arch aperture dies, because all of your, let me just get one of the Peekaboos. Can you see? Peekaboos, they all have 2 dies. So they've got the actual character head, and then they've got the key word. Now these apertures, these arch, because they're obviously much bigger than they look in the picture there, they are designed so that the animal and the word will fit perfectly at the bottom line, because there isn't a bottom cutting edge. And it also means that you can make that aperture, that arch, much, much longer as well if you want to. Now something you are always, I think, pretty much always going to need with your Peekaboo projects is a good, decent craft knife. And now we know, gosh, and I hadn't ever thought of this, why that acrylic ruler is valuable for your Peekaboo creations, because you can actually see through it and it's got grid lines on it as well. So this is such a deal and a half, I have to say. So for just £10, you've got the craft knife, you've got the 5 replacement blades, and you've got that acrylic ruler as well, which you'll use for many, many other things besides, but it's really, really handy when doing these Peekaboo projects. £10 or $19. Let's talk tri-blends again, because we've got, there's just brilliant. And I'm forgive me because I didn't mention the multi-buys on these earlier as well. So 1 pack of 6, which have been curated into different blends here, as you can see, is how much is it individually? $22.99. Actually, yes, right, they are $22.99 or $29.95, but actually we're doing a multi-buy, 2 for £35 or $50. So that might just extend your choice a little better as well. Have a closer look if you're shopping the show on the website as well, because it will show you all of the different colours, a lot of which Leann has used in this show. We also have the new kid in town as well, the brand new tri-blend brush markers. It's always easy for us to say. They're curated into kind of little try-me sets really of 3. Now, out of all of the options you've got on the website at the moment, just to let you know, the most popular is our winter holiday selection at the moment. Individually, they're $9.99 or $14.95, or you can go for any 3 for £26 or $40. Now, for pens, of course, you need storage, because you do need them out and you do need to be able to see what colours are there in front of you, as I have learnt. So we've got the ultimate pen storage trays. Each one of these trays holds 12. It's a buy one, get one free. So it's £5.99 or $8.49, which is brilliant. Quick mention that it's still loaded, it's still live, and it's still available. We've got the tape pen deals that were on Sarah's cartload last night, so we shouldn't have them technically speaking, but they are there for you. 12 tape pens for the price of 9. There are your dotties, $44.91 or $62.55. And then your tape pens, so your tape runner pens that you know are absolutely invaluable. Again, that's 12 for the price of just 9. So stock up on those while they're at a brilliant deal. £35.91, $53.91. We do have a couple of the other cheeky deals actually from Cartload, which are in the show today. And I do believe, Leann, you've managed to squirrel a couple for Colour Me Happy this afternoon as well.
Oh, I have. You know what it is? You've got it's not what you know, Derek. It's who you know. And I have managed to stash a few of those away, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Brilliant. Right, what are we doing now then? I can see an elephant coming.
We're doing an elephant baby card, surprisingly enough. And we're doing it in pink. hell surprise.
Ah, I wonder why.
I wonder why. So we're going to do one of these fabulous, do love, always be my favourite, ever since I did a Peter Rabbit one eons ago with one of my first projects with Crafter's Companion, a dome card. And I do love having that really fabulous dimension on the front there. So this is what we're going to be building up. So I've started with a piece of cardstock, which is my square card base, and that's my 5 3/4 or 5.5 inches. And then I've put 1/2 inch on either side and done a score line. I've put my aperture in and I've put my 2 little dies in, exactly as you've seen me do with the little giraffe earlier. I've done nothing different there. And then we're going to put it through the junior machine and cut it. So I've just done all the sticking, but I explained to you where to do the stick earlier, didn't I? So just saves a little bit of time. So we'll whiz them through the junior.
Beatrice on YouTube says, my husband asked why these stamps have half a body and I need to send them back. She says, men don't think.
Why do they have half a body? Well, he's got a point, you know, if you don't know what they're there for. I mean, you might think that you'd been missold a half-bodied elephant
I think
or
he needs
whatever
to pay
it was.
a bit more attention to Crafters TV. That's
I think
what
he
it is.
probably does,
You'll
yes.
get the hang of it then. You'll be making cards before you know it.
Absolutely. So you're going to remove your tape, and remember we've taped it into the piece that's coming away, so you don't need to worry about doing any ripping because you've positioned your repositionable tape carefully. So just take that away and then do the same. Oh, it always sticks to your fingers when you don't want it to. Do the same with your little aperture, so I can see I've got some here. And I like to use my craft knife actually just to help me pick this up sometimes, Derek. It just gets it out of the way. There we go.
Ah.
Now, what I can see is I remove this die, and I always give it a little bend first.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to show you, because this bit doesn't matter if I rip it, because that bit's coming away.
Yeah.
But you can see where I just need, with my craft knife, to catch this little piece, because I didn't quite get it in the right place. And this is why your ruler and your knife, I was going to freestyle it, I'm not. I'm going to use my ruler, because it'll all go Pete tongue if I don't use my ruler. Allows me to get that out the way. There you go. And then I've got a piece here as well. So anywhere where you didn't quite get them lined up perfectly, this is where your craft knife and your ruler comes in, just to catch those little areas for you and make it all nice and precise. And then you see you can just take that away, and then if you didn't quite get that, you can trim that off with your craft knife, and it's perfectly smooth and straight.
Leanne, I know you're not a penguin. We've established this.
Yeah.
But we've started the story now, so we need to move it on. I'm sorry. Angela said on Facebook, the male penguins batch the egg, but I think she means hatch the egg, and she's maybe gone for the B instead of the H. So maybe by giving the girlie the rock, they're proving that they can be trusted with it, bringing the pebble.
Oh, okay. I knew it was something to do with the this is how good I am at babies thing, but I didn't know which way. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because they hatch it.
Yeah. Yes,
But so they look for the most perfect pebble on the beach, apparently. Oh, it's all very confusing, isn't it? Not to penguins, clearly.
Very,
but, you know,
yeah, penguins know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. They know why.
But complicated to us.
We're just trying to work out why.
We're just trying to work out why, exactly. So once I've done that, then I'm going to take my little it's not a penguin, he's an elephant. Little elephant stamp and stamp that in, and then colour it in with my tri-blend, which again you've already seen me do with the penguin. So I'm just going to fast forward that. So fast forward to that bit there, and I've folded my little 1/2 inch pieces back at the side. I've then done, as you've seen me do with the penguin before, I've stamped him, and then I've coloured him in with my tri-blend. I've cut out the top, because actually the head is the piece that you need to be the most accurate. So I've used my die, cut out the top of the elephant, and then just used a little bit of snips or a craft knife to go around the outside, so I've got a full piece to go inside my card. So that's what I've done with my different dies and stamps. So that's all ready to start assembling now.
Okay.
So I've got my half-fold card ready, and then I've got a piece of card that I've matted and laid with some pretty paper and some pink, and I'm going to use my tape pen. So I'm going to run a line down both sides with my tape pen on the left and the right. There we go. And then I'm going to stick my little dome around this piece of patterned card by pushing it into the crease there on the little, what's the dome front, that's the word I'm looking for. So you can see that little flap there, stick it. And then what you do is the same on the other side. Now, what I needed to mention and didn't, this square piece here for my card front is 5 3/4 inches square. This is actually 6 inches long and then the 1/2 inch on either side. Because it's a little bit longer then, when you fold that around, that's what creates your dome for you. And you only need like 1/4 or 1/2 an inch to get that really nice little dome on there. So that's how that's created. And then you're going to stick that to the front of your card. And I'm going to use my tape pen again. So here we go.
Do you know something else that you can do, and I'm working on it on the bear at the moment, is you can use the light and you can use the different colours of cards so that you can actually cover up the character after it's been put into the aperture. You can actually put another piece of card over so you can almost still see the shape of the character behind it, because then of course that forces someone to go and look at it, to actually lift up the door and then see the Peekaboo character there. That's what I'm kind of working on with the bear at the moment.
Wow.
It's brilliant, isn't it? How you can take your imagination just for a walk.
Do you know what? They've really inspired you, haven't they, Derek?
Oh, I love them. Do you know what? And I love doing something that's that little bit different as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I really love the fact that they've inspired you. So I've popped that onto the front of my half fold card now, so you can see that that is ready. And then I've got my matinee panel here to go on. Now, because that's on a dome, what I've done, I don't know if you can see, is I've just given that some shape. So I've just bent it just so it's got a little bit of memory already, so that when I glue this down, I'm not having to try and push the dome flat and getting horrible creases in here because I've flattened it now that I've got that dome in place. So just shape the piece that you want to mat and layer on there, and that'll really help you. And then just pop a couple of lines of your tape pen or your glue pen on there.
I love this because there's so many different occasions where you can bring the characters into play. I think it's awesome. I mean, I love that idea earlier of almost having the little theatre of all the characters there in one project. I think that's genius. And again, you can have some, because you've got that the whole of the characters. You can bring them in from every which way. Yeah, it's fabulous, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Go for it. Let us know what you've done. We've got some more of your pictures coming up a little bit later on, actually.
So I've just stamped the sentiment and done some matting and layering, and I've 3D'd that in the centre for a special baby. And then I've got welcome little one here. And actually I'm going to have this pop up a little bit. I do love it where these little snake tongue sentiments have a nice little piece of curve on them like this. I think it really does add a little bit of something extra in terms of the design. And then I'm going to use my 3D glue gel, and so that's going to get stuck in the 2 areas that it's going to touch the card, which is there and there. And I love the fact that it's flying off the front of the card. And I've then got my little elephant that we cut out, and this one's going to go here. So welcome little one. That's going to just get moved along a little bit. There we go. Bit of 3D glue gel on the elephant as well. So that's 3D'd. Pop that in place.
And of course, you can use your font stamps and dies, can't you, to actually then bring the baby's name into the project in some way as well, couldn't you?
Absolutely, you can.
Which would be lovely.
That would be fantastic, especially with those, the little cut-in ones we've got with all of the mesh on there.
Yeah.
I've just found a new dotty tape pen. I'm so happy I found a new dotty tape pen. I love dotty tape pens, they're so easy. And then I've cut the word baby again, and then just gone along the bottom with my craft knife. And then I'm just going to line that up over the top so that word baby sticks out really well now. And stick that in place with my dotty tape pen. There we go. And I've got a nice little pink ribbon to go at the top. And my pink ribbon is going to get put in place with a mixture of a little dab of 3D glue gel there, which will just grab it in the centre and then hold it underneath just to get that in place. And then to wrap these around so they don't wiggle around, to twist them, use a little bit of your tacky glue, and I just get a tiny bit on my finger like that so I can manage how much I'm putting on there. Give it a little dab on the bottom of your ribbon, and then you can position that up, and so it'll stick down, but it looks like the ribbon is dimensional on top of the card. So you give it some lovely movement, and then do the same over here. So just a little dab, and you only need a tiny piece, and then bring it down to wherever you want it to stick, and then that will stay where you've got it once it's dry.
Do you know, do you know what, that whole card, just from the angle we're looking at it, I think it is putting in my mind, Leanne, this is where the elephants go. It's like the baby shop. This is where they go to buy their babies. And
Yes.
and the one looking out is the one behind the counter.
Oh.
And the one coming is just seeing like, what have you got in there? Which babies have you got in there?
Oh, instead of the stork delivering
Yeah.
them, the baby elephant
It's the
shop.
baby
I
elephant
love
shop.
that. So there we go. And that's really easy to do, isn't it? And if you wanted to, you could put some pretty gems on the side as well. Entirely up to you, whatever you would prefer.
So beautiful, isn't it? So lovely. You're making me go all gooey-eyed now. Right, listen, we're going to get some more demos in before the end of the show as well. I never want this show to end. It's just so good, isn't it? It's lovely immersing in this. And I know people are absolutely loving the show as well. So let's have a little look through everything that we've got. We'll start with what we call the Everyday Collection, which is these wonderful characters. They're amazing. This is like 6 for the price of 4 as well, by the way. So this is the cat, the dog, the elephant, the bear, the giraffe and the bunny, and people are loving the giraffe in the multi-buy as well. So people buying out of the collections, the individuals are absolutely loving the giraffe. But what a wonderful character. Well, all of the characters are brilliant and you can use them in so many different ways, and you'll love the keyword that goes with each of the sets. Has really funny, cheeky, quirky, cute sentiments that go with the stamps as well. You'll love it. You'll see a closer look if you're shopping the show on the website. But I have to tell you, at £29.41, isn't it a really good price for a lovely collection of these? And again, keep your pictures coming in as well, because we're absolutely loving them. We've also got the Christmas collection on the show today as well. And these are brilliant, perfectly timed right now. I know a lot of you are receiving them as well. We've got the Santa, the elf, the reindeer, the snowman, the penguin, the robin, the festive mouse and the polar bear. So a bigger bundle in the Christmas as well. It's like 8 for the price of 5 here, £35 or $50, which is brilliant. I say these prices and I bear in mind that most of you are silver, gold, possibly platinum 10 times over. So actually your prices probably won't be anywhere near those prices that we're showing on our graphics, of course. And remember, Club Inspire, just for those people who don't know, who are joining us recently, you don't have to join anything. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to, you don't have to reach a certain sort of bracket before anything happens, but every pound or dollar you spend gets you Club Inspire points, and the more Club Inspire points you've got, the more discount you get from every single order. I'll let you see more about that on the website yourself. And well, in fact, look, as you can see here, as you go up the Club Inspire ladder, once you reach gold, all of your orders have 15% off. Once you get to platinum, you're 20% off. Not just one order, like you would expect, but every order from there on in. So it's brilliant. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to sign up for anything or anything. It's brilliant. Let's show you some other really amazing pictures from you as well. Let's start with Mary Lee, who's got a little penguin poking out from a beautiful little snowstorm there. I love that. I told you about those earrings, Leanne. Beautiful. Then let's have a look at Cindy. Cindy's card, should I say. So Cindy's got an elephant looking out and a giraffe looking in. Have a wild birthday. Oh, here we go with the wild thing again. And another one. Really cool. How nice is that? Beautiful.
Oh, I love that. Oh, do you know what that is? I think that might be the shaving foam technique with our sparkling.
Oh, yes. Love the detail on that. Beautiful, isn't it? Karen's next. Oh, now she's got a little Christmas carousel of peekaboos going on there. The Santa's there, the snowman, the little elf, the reindeer. They're all there, I think, on that one. That looks like the top of a cake. Is it a cake? Is that a cake topper?
No, I think it's just a round card.
You could make a cake topper,
though,
couldn't you?
Topper, yeah.
Imagine that. You could use your ribbon that you go round the Christmas cake with and have your peekaboos peeking over the ribbon, couldn't you? That would be quite cool.
Yeah.
Here's one from Ange. Oh, no.
Oh, I like
so you've got
that,
all the
Ange.
presents in the background there. The reindeer's having a little look in. Santa's looking out saying, am I finished yet? Do I get a day off yet? And the reindeer's looking in saying, ooh, now which one of those is mine? Cool. Mary Lee, here's another one. Oh, I love your colouring there. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I love the texture of the background. You can feel it. It's really nice. There's a little pair of reindeer that are both looking out. Oh, look, one's got the little red nose as well. Oh, Leanne, this is too much fun, isn't it? Too much fun.
It really is. Do you know, this set of die, for all they look really quite simple, Derek, and they are simple, I think the fact that you've got that little outline die, you've got those stamps, you've got the sentiments, the character's incredibly cute. Actually, because they're not such a performance, it really opens up, and you can see from all those fabulous examples we've seen from people who've already got them at home, it opens up all of your creativity, and you can think of lots of different things you want to do with them. Even just what you've been sharing with what you're doing at home, and I'm stealing with the bookmark. It's just fantastic. And then, you know, in your gift boxes, all of those samples we looked at before, and keeping in that vein, we're going to have a look at how we can use these little characters as an edgeable character. I thought it'd be nice for you to see me actually line this up and cut this out so you can see how actually they're not just the little cute characters in the apertures, they can be an edgeable too. So I've got a half fold card here. And my half fold card is from a good weight, about 260 GSM. I think this might actually be Nina card, to be honest, because I'm going to colour the little doggy in. So this is your Nina, which is also great if you're using these characters as a card base and then you want alcohol colour on it. You can use it as a card base, it's fantastic. So I'm going to take my little, I'm using the doggy this time. I do like the doggy. I think he's really pretty, called Peekaboo. Or Peekaboo dog. That was interesting. Yeah. Could have thought of a better name than that. Just having a chat with the team when we get back in the office. Never mind. It could have been a bit more inspirational, but you know, it does what it says on the tin. It is in fact a dog. So there we go.
I'm so glad for the rest of the team in the office. There is but an hour between shows today. She might have forgotten by tonight.
Yeah, and then I won't be bothered about sending an email because I'll be heading down to see my granddaughter. So by the time I come back in a week's time, it'll be a distant memory. Yeah. So I've got a half fold card, and you can see I've got my score line there. And then I'm taking the little die for the character of the dog. And what I'm doing is I'm lining the bottom of that up with the score line. So you can see the score lines there, and then the little shape for the dog pops into the back of the card there. So it lines up on top of the score line. If this is the front of your card and this is the back, it goes on top of the score line for the front of the card. And then you're just going to keep that still and pop your plates together and pop it through your Gemini machine. And I've used my Gemini plates now in my Gemini machine. So you see I'm using the larger plates rather than the junior because I've got a larger concept card there to push through. And so I just need that extra space that those plates give me. And I think that's the joy of having a Gemini actually, because you can use it with the large plates, but you can also get yourself a set of junior plates and use them on the widthways. And that means you don't have to then have two machines. So you could just use the plates in the machine. And I think that's really a good thing to have. So if you haven't done that yet, you might want to get yourself some junior plates as well. Right, okay, so we've done all of that. Let's get these out the way. We'll drop those earrings down there again as I was dropping them earlier. And we're going to remove that tape. So just try and keep my head out of the way while I try and grab this. There we go. Tape out of the way. This is why the craft knife really does help to get that removed. There we are. And then peel that up. Oh, it's come off at the same time. There's a little bit left there. There we go. See, I'm pedantic. I need it all gone, Derek.
Oh, I'm exactly the same.
I kind of cope with just a little bit left behind or anything like that. It needs to all come off. There we go. So that's nicely removed now. So that little doggy is ready to be decorated up. And then when we fold our card, you see that sticks up proud. So that has become an edgeable now. And so you've got the shape to be able to stamp the face of your little character in here. Now I've already got one ready done, so you can see. So I've stamped the face in, and now what we've got is him peekabooing over the top of the card there, which I really, really love. And of course you could put the little body in the background there as well, and so that when you turn it over you just don't have that space. You can see the back of the little dog stamped into the reverse there if that's what you want to do. I've also cut the aperture and I've done the friend, but you see me do that with the little elephant earlier and the giraffe, so you don't need to see me do that again. And now I'll just start layering this all up. So I've got a nice piece of decorative card that's going to go inside here, and I'm just going to use my Collal All-Purpose for that. And I'm using my Collal All-Purpose because I get repositioning. So because it's a wet glue, I mean, it does set like concrete, and you know that I believe it is the best glue in the world, which is a bold statement, but I do, in my opinion, believe that this is definitely the best glue in the world.
Well, do you know what, Leanne?
Yeah.
Since the first time we spoke about these things,
Yeah.
I didn't have any glue in my life.
Did you not?
And the first glue I got because I was impatient and while I was waiting for my crafter's orders to arrive, so I went out and bought a PVA. And of course, if you try and stick two pieces of card together for PVA, well, you've got like a skateboard part on your hands, haven't you? So I learned that lesson pretty quickly. And I have to say, I've now got the tacky, the all-purpose, and the 3D Collal. All have their own place, but I have to say, I'm with you because the all-purpose is just, I love the consistency of it. I love it always does the job. It starts off clear as well, which for me is a bonus. So it's pleasing on the eye straight away. There's so many reasons where I just go, yeah, that's the one. It's always the first one I reach for.
Oh, I absolutely adore it. I really do. It's fantastic. It sets like concrete. And it doesn't make your papers warped. If you're using a thinner or a more reasonable cardstock, should we say, for your matting and layering, when it sets really firm, so it makes it feel like a heavier weight cardstock. And anything you put together with this, especially if it's heirlooms, if it's things that you're giving and people are going to want to put away and take out year after year, or take out to look at, so they're keeping them in a scrap album or a memory book, they're never going to fall apart in central heating because it bonds the fibres of the card. It's definitely the best glue to use for crafting in terms of all of those things. I've then cut out one of the little doggies, so you can see there. So I've done that exactly as you see me do for the elephant and exactly as you see me do for the giraffe earlier. And I've coloured him in with my, what's the colour? I'm just checking, red brown. There we are. And then he'll get stuck over here with my 3D glue. I've got the word friend. You've seen me do this a few times now. I've just done it with a baby card. So cut it out in brown and then cut along with my craft knife at the bottom. That's going to get stuck in place. I'm going to put a little bow on there, and I'm going to put "You're my best" in here, and then I've got the word, oh, there it is there, in fact. Oh, dear me. "You're my best friend." And then when we colour in the little doggy at the top too, that's what you're going to be able to create. And I really like it. This here, this little 4-line, it's just one of our fine liner pens with a random hand-drawn square line you can see there. There we go.
I love it. It's so cute, isn't it? And of course you can incorporate, you can incorporate pictures of that person as well into a kind of, into the kind of composition that we had there. You could incorporate little pictures and sort of vintage them up in some way, couldn't you? Be great fun. I mean, I just think these are brilliant, and they are very, very inspirational as well. What looks on the face of it, a very, very simple concept, which, as Leanne says, it is to all intents and purposes, very clever concept, but it's essentially quite simple. But then you start thinking about all the different ways you can apply it. It's brilliant. Let me show you the bundle of the animals, the animal peekaboos. Now remember, this is a selection of 6 in this bundle, and it's almost like 6 for the price of 4, isn't it? £29 or $41. So you've got the cat, you've got the dog that Leanne was just showing us in that card, bless you. You've also got the baby elephant, which is beautiful. You've got the bear, and I haven't been able to crack that joke today. I could with Craig, but you've also got the stamp for the bear behind. And you've got the wild thing with the giraffe and the bunny as well. £29, $41. Remember, there are multi-buys available across the 2 selections as well. If you have some of the animals and some of the Christmas and you want to top that selection up, you can on a multi-buy between the 2 collections, which I'll remind you of in just a moment. Here's the Christmas ones. So in the Christmas bundle, it's 8 of the Peekaboos for the price of 5, actually. Yeah, which is really, really good. So you pay for 5, you're actually getting 8 of them. So you've got the Santa, you've got the cheeky little elf, who's great fun. You've got the reindeer, which again is so cute and so detailed, front and back. The amount of detail for colouring there is just brilliant, isn't it? Snowman. You've got the penguin, and the penguin is Santa Claus, and the penguin are pretty much the most popular of the Christmas Peekaboos. You've got the little Jolly Robin, who's a very well-fed Robin as well. We'll just remind you. Look, he's been on the mince pies definitely already. And the festive mouse, who's all ready for bed. So cute. And you've got the polar bear as well. 8 for the price of 5, £35 or $50. Remember, there is a multi-buy as well. So any 2 of the Peekaboos between the animals and the Christmas for just £11 or $17, which again is awesome value for money. So just if you want to try a couple of Peekaboos and you're thinking, okay, let's see how we get on with them, just trying a couple. Maybe it's just a couple for Christmas to top up your Christmas card collection. Just have a little play with them. Then that multi-buy is brilliant. It's really, really good. Although it is difficult to narrow your choices down to 2, of course, Leanne.
It would be very, very difficult to do, wouldn't it? I would be struggling, and I'd be getting most of them, because the thing is, you're going to find uses and needs for them as you go through the years. And the thing I love about these is they're not particularly of the minute in terms of design. Now, that doesn't mean that's a bad thing. It just means that they're going to be as current in your collection in 5 years' time as they are now. And they're still going to be as usable because you've got all of those different versatile conceptual ways of using them. And so it's not going to be something that goes out of fashion that you're going to use for 3 or 4 months, and then when you come to use it again, the world's moved on and it doesn't really work any longer. And I think that's brilliant about this collection, because they are beautifully designed, but they're going to remain current and you're going to be able to use them for a long time. And just have a look at some of these fantastic examples we've got here. Some of these little sentiments in here are exceptional, because I love this. Here's the bunny one, and we've got this: there's no bunny like you. Oh, there's no bunny like you. I love it. It's fantastic. And you're some bunny special. Oh, you're some bunny special. I love it. And look how fantastic they are, just in some nice pastel pale colours, a little bit of matting and layering, just colour the character in a little bit, and it's fantastic. This one, the little mouse with the cake, I mean, look, lots of cake. This calls for lots of cake. Now, that could be any occasion. That could be you're not having a great week, you've had some bad news, you're having a celebration, it's a party, whatever it is, there's always a reason for cake in your life. And that would absolutely lift somebody's spirits if that was the case and you were sending that to them.
That's true. Do you know what? One of those could be made every single day in CCHQ, because we have a concept here called the middle table, and there's always some cake on that middle table, isn't there?
There is always. There's 3 cakes on the middle table today, honestly.
Very tempting.
I love this. Look, a hand cut arc, and then all of the little characters along the top of the arc, and then some acetate embossed with a folder for the sea, a little bit of your spectrum inks to give you the colour for the sea. And look at that. That is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? As a congratulations. I love that. Here's another cake card, and I love the fact that it shows how they can look very, very different. Even though it's the same cute character, if I just come back to this cake card, look how very different they look. Same little mouse, same sentiment, 2 entirely different cards. So it just depends what you're going to do with them. Have a wild birthday, friend. I love that. I really do. I love this one. Wild again. Have a wild birthday. But you've got the little giraffes. Look, you've got his little bum sticking up here. He's doing a little handstand. Got a little head sticking out here.
That background paper, is that the Twilight Safari?
Yes.
Yeah, it is, from Hunky Dory.
It is.
Yeah.
Love a bit of Hunky Dory.
Someone mentioned that earlier, that would go really well with the giraffe.
And there we go. Here's the wild one again. Now, this is what I was saying before about don't think it's just got to be as it comes. Look, that's the aperture die on the side with the word wild cut on the side, and your little giraffe's positioned in a different place. Still works really, really well. Here's your little bear behind. Has he got a bear behind? Has he?
Dare you see?
Yes, he's got a little bear behind. There he is. And then again, we've got the little cakey one. And look, this was with, if you got these ages ago, can you remember? I don't know if you seen these, Derek, but these were our fantastic number and template dies, which let you do these fabulous age cards. And look how incredible that works when you use that as the aperture there, and you've got the number 5 inside, and then little characters are repeated inside there. Look, you've got their little behinds in there.
How cool is
and then
that?
they're poking out around there. Isn't that brilliant? So they can be used with all of the other products you've got at home that you've been collecting from us, because the characters just work well on their own too, in different positions. And then this I absolutely love. Look, this is a little family album. and
Wow.
photographs in here. But look, each little person
Yeah.
has got their own little tab at the bit like your bookmark concept, really, isn't it? Look, and their little behinds are included. You could have another little photograph in there. So for each new photograph, little character peeking over the top. I love that. Wouldn't that be lovely? So you can even be making little memory books with those characters if you want to, as little family albums, and you've got the little index tabs, each little character. So many different ways of using these, be it every day or Christmas, and they're not going to go out of fashion because they've been really well designed.
I love them. We'll look at some Christmas ones before we go as well, because we're just I never want this show to end, but it has to. But I know lots and lots of people are saving this show as well, because a lot of people have got their Peekaboos but haven't yet gone. I mean, I'd had them for a little while, and it was only like last night I was like, right, okay, I know I'm doing this show. So listen, if you haven't got the aperture, the arch dies, you're going to have to get them. You're going to have to get them because, well, you're not going to have to get them. Of course, you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. But these are the dies that have been designed for the Peekaboos, so that the character, if I just show you again on one of the boards, so that the character in the die, so every Peekaboo die has the character top, the Peekaboo, and has the signature work. Now, these dies, which are much bigger than the drawing, as you can see from the packaging, are designed so that your word and the character can go across the bottom, so you can get almost like a seamless finish, or very, very, tiny gaps you just have to cut away, so you can keep that consistent look. These have been out of stock forever and ever and ever, or in a long, long time actually. They've only just come back in, and already 15% of a sizable stock has already sold out and gone. £9.99, $12.95. So it doesn't matter how many Peekaboos you get in your life. I don't know how many are in the complete and utter collection of Peekaboos. But if we release more, they'll be along the same kind of lines and sizes as well. So this is going to be future-proof for you as well. Definitely need one of these. Now, we've had a look at the animals and the different way they work. But of course, we're edging closer and closer to that time of year, Leann, aren't we?
We really are. I always think from the 1st of September, it's kind of when the X Factor would usually start on the TV.
Yeah.
It's countdown to Christmas, isn't it? It just happens so quickly. Because September, you're sort of in denial. Really, it isn't going to be Christmas too soon. You're a little bit in denial. Then October comes, you're like, oh, it's not very long. And then you count down how many Fridays. Halloween's done, bonfire night. And then you've got Thanksgiving right on top of you and Christmas before you know it. So it does go around really quickly, doesn't it? It really does. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I do love Christmas. It's my favourite time of year. It's just all about family and friends, isn't it? And being able to make a whole little table decoration. I was just thinking when I did the little place name cards before, Derek.
Yeah.
Imagine doing little knife and fork wraps to match the place card around the napkin with your cutlery in, and then the little character carried through as well. Or a little favour box with a little edgeable with a little character popped up. So you've got the place name, you've got your napkin ring and your little favour box, all with a little character on there. Why not? Just so many different things you're going to be able to do. Or even gift tags. So you've got the little gift with the little character and then the place name, and it all carries through. And everybody at the table has a different character.
That's a brilliant idea.
And do that. I'm having more inspiration now. The little character, put a little hook ring. You can buy them for 200 for 20 pence on all of those websites that are out there, Amazon and eBay and things. Don't know if I should have said that, but I have.
Others are available.
Other websites, yeah, you can get them. Even in the local shop, you can get them in Wilco's as well.
Yeah.
And you're going to stick one of the characters at either side, wine glass charms. So the wine glass charm matches the place card, matches the napkin wrapping, matches the gift tag, matches the little Christmas favour on the table. So many different things you can do with them.
Leann,
and just a nice size.
Leann, is this you trying to get out of the Christmas cooking?
Oh no, I never get out of the Christmas cooking dinner. I've been cooking Christmas dinner since I met for 30 years.
Oh, have you?
Everybody comes to us. I love it. I'm in my element cooking Christmas dinner.
And you've got time to make all of the table decorations and everything else and keep calm, swan-like. Yes, it's all fine. I'm fine. I just don't need any help in the Christmas kitchen.
I prepare in advance as much as I can.
Yeah.
But I'm also an excellent delegator.
Oh.
Yes, so I do delegate tasks to anybody who comes through the door. Hi, nice to meet you. Here's a Christmas drink. Can you do this? And I find that's the easiest way.
Oh, okay. Jolly good.
We did do it. She won't be watching, so she won't mind me sharing.
Go
I
on.
did do that with my sister-in-law once because 2 of our family like to have Yorkshire puddings on their Christmas dinner. Now, that's a whole other debate, isn't it? So I'm just going to ask you out there, if you're in the UK, Yorkshire puddings on your Christmas dinner, yes or no? Let us know. So we've got lots of yes pleases coming through our ears there. I'm a firm no, because it's Christmas dinner, not Sunday dinner.
That's very true, yeah.
And so I'm a no, not on Christmas dinner, but yes on a Sunday dinner. However, 2 of the teenage males, or now early 20 males, want Yorkshire puddings on their dinner. And I didn't have time to make them, and I'm very much of the fact I'm not. So my sister-in-law, can I do anything for you, Leanne? Could you bring the Yorkshire puddings? Thank you. She turned up with frozen Yorkshire puddings.
Well, I have to say, so would I.
Oh.
I would, because you know what? Because once.
What do you call your auntie? Is she called Bessie?
She might be. She might be. But I tell you why, Leanne. I tell you why. Because you can. Right. So sorry, we're wasting time here. But when you're making, are we over time now? Are we? Well, that's fine. So we're in fine territory now. But when you're making Yorkshire pudding, it can go so wrong so easily. So you know you're a guaranteed result, and at the end of the day, you're going to drown it with gravy anyway, aren't you? So it all ends up the same.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, everyone's disagreeing.
No, I'm sorry,
okay.
no.
Just me then.
No.
Well, I'm a boy. I'm allowed to.
Unacceptable, Derek. Just letting you know.
Oh,
have we
okay
got
then.
time to look at cards? Just 1 or 2 special ones. So look, we've got I wanted to show you here how you can have a really lovely tall performance of a card, or you can have a really lovely little small one with a little snowman on there. But look, you can start to make real really fantastic little arrangements here, where you can see we've got the whole trees inside there as well, with the little penguins.
Wowzers.
And then you've got your frames. I love this. Look, somebody's used their glaze. Who's done this? I need to just check. Joanne has used glaze and glazed snow on the top of the little penguin heads. I love that. And I love that you can get all of the little characters just popping up all over the place, a bit like Find the Reindeer. So many different things you can do. And the last one I have to show you is this one.
Oh, look at that.
With the acetate inside and the little snowman and the Christmas trees. And he's popping out of the forest there with his little head in the background. I love that. It's like little Jack Frost arrangement, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous.
Well, you know
you
what?
will not regret it if you get these, Derek.
Excuse me. Do you know if that card was ever commercially available? It probably cost you the price of a multi-buy of 2 of these Peekaboo sets, to be honest with you. Well, listen. So now we've got Leanne fired up and ready to go for the rest of the day. Joe's a lucky boy, isn't he? In an hour.
Fiona, it's your fault.
Oh, I think I just saw a fist. Anyway, listen, let's go back to today then, shall we? What are we doing in an hour, Leanne, with Joe?
We're going to be getting over the fact that somebody used my glue winder to poke the glue. I'm going to have a cup of tea and calm down. It'll be fine.
Probably best.
We're going to be looking at our fantastic brand new seasonal classic collections, where you've got those amazing Christmas colours in there with a metallic marker, and we've got a fantastic range of stamps in there too. It's going to be really great, but it's going to be a real focus on how to get the best out of your classic markers and how to colour in some beautiful things.
Thank you, Leanne. Enjoy the chill of the next, what is now 55 minutes. I think we've gone the furthest over than anyone has ever gone before. But let me tell you, it was worth it. Don't forget, so Joe and Leanne back in an hour. Don't forget your HSM preview with Sarah and Joe as well. 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 o'clock Eastern time. I'm not going to be back until Monday, but when I am back, I'm going to be back with Debbie and Jan next Monday. But I'm going to get home in time to watch this show in an hour's time with Joe and Leanne. Colour Me Happy. Stay right where you are. Have a lovely hour off. You've got to be back with Joe and Leanne for Colour Me Happy in an hour.